Welcome back to the unit on fractions and decimals. Today's lesson is about multiplying decimals. The goals of today's lesson are that you can describe and apply a method for multiplying decimals, and you will know how to use product of whole numbers to find a product of decimals. So one method is to draw a number line. Here we have problem 3 times 0.4. And on our number line, we start at 0 and have 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and so on, all along the number line. And we have 0.4 marked out 3 times, and we get to 1.2, which is doable if you have small numbers. A more common way of doing it is to do a multiplication problem. And here we're multiplying 0.56 times 1.2. And just to show what this looks like with fractions, we are multiplying 56 hundredths, that's a 6, times 1 and 2 tenths, or we could say 56 hundredths times 12 tenths. And when we multiply these, multiply the numerators together, 56 times 12, we get 672, and 100 times 10, we get 1000. So we get 672 thousandths. I'm going to write that, thousandths. And so our answer should be 0.672. So let's look over here at the left-hand side where we see it laid out as a multiplication problem. We've got 0.56 and 1.2 multiplied together as if there are no decimal places. So as if there are no decimals. Just multiply them. And then you get your answer, 672. You've got 2 decimal places here in 0.56 plus 1 decimal place here. So that means numbers to the right of the decimal. And that's a total of 3 numbers to the right of the decimal. So when we get our answer, we'd go 1, 2, 3, and our decimal point goes here. And our answer is 0.672, which is the same as the answer we got when we converted to fractions and then converted back to decimals. We could also draw an area model to represent it, where we would have something like this. Doesn't have to be, super accurate or to scale. 1.2 times 0.56. So 1 times 0.56 is 0.56, and 0.2 times 0.56 is 0.112. And when you add those two together, 0.56 and 0.112, we get the same answer we've got the other 2 ways on the previous slide, 0.672. So you've got 3 different ways there. You could use a number line, an area model, or multiplication of products, or multiplication of numbers, whole numbers, to calculate the product of 2 decimals. If you're going to use the multiplication of whole numbers, first multiply the numbers as if there's no decimal place, no decimal points. Next, count the number of digits to the right of the decimal point in each of the numbers. So here you have 2 numbers to the right, and here you have 1 number to the right, for a total of 3 numbers to the right of the decimal point. And when you get your answer, make sure that there are just 3 numbers to the right of the decimal point, and that's your answer. So after this, you should be able to describe 3 ways: a number line, an area model, and multiplying whole numbers, to apply a method for multiplying decimals. And you should know how to use a product of whole numbers and then put in the decimal place at the end to find a product of decimals. And that's the end of today's lesson.